Really, in my 30s, Lisa, is where I was faced with the questioning of, why are you still single? Why are you not married? And I've always said, if you're not careful, those questions will start to weigh on you, and you'll start to feel like, well, being single is something I obviously need to get out of. Everyone's telling me, why aren't you this? Why aren't you somewhere where you're not? For a short period of time, it actually became something that I was embarrassed about. Like, well, why am I still single? Is there something wrong with me? And the questions would start to weigh in that way. And at some point, I just decided, what am I going to do? Am I not going to enjoy my life because I don't have a man? Or am I going to enjoy this period of my life? Slow down for a second and enjoy this phase of your life, because life keeps going. And you're going to go to the next phase, and you're going to go to something else. And this is the time to just enjoy the now. So I had to make that decision for myself to sort of just ignore all the noise and be okay with where I was.
Okay, let's talk. Single women, pull up to the front. Pull up to the front. Single women in their 30s, pull up to the front. Because God knows everybody has something to say about you being single and in your 30s. Everybody has something to say about a woman who chose building her career, who chose not settling for the rubbish and the lies and the manipulation, who chose not having kids right now but waiting on the right person to have a child for, because you honor the temple that is your body. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody has something to say about that woman. You know what I mean? Or your timeline, your clock, your biological clock is ticking. You need to have a baby. No. Where are my cousins and my nephews and my nieces? Where are my grandkids? Where are they? You chose to follow your career instead of having a family. Should I have a family with a man who has multiple wives, who thinks that ethical non-monogamy is a thing? Should I have kids with a man who doesn't want to put a label on it because, we just all go with the flow right now? We not label nothing. Him don't want to label it. Him just want to go with the flow. Him just want to enjoy himself and enjoy your friends. Should I be a part of that conversation? Should I be a part of that relationship? Should I have a child just because I'm in my 30s now and time is running out, according to you? Come on. I think the conversation is weak. I think that line and that train of thought is outdated. It's archaic. Or can't stop the argument then now. Or can't come with something else. We're still up on the one train there. Right now, women are taking claim of their bodies, their minds, their trajectory in terms of their career and them life, what they want go, what they want do. Why you want dictate that? Right now, we have a man shortage. That is no lie. Right now, there's a man shortage. Or is it that we're not looking at the right places? I don't know where the right places are, because I've been everywhere in my capacity as, my career. I've been all over the place. I've seen, I've heard, I've spoken to, I've shook hands with, I've rubbed shoulders with any and everybody. But it seems as if there is a man shortage. Like the one that you're looking for, you just can't find. And maybe that is it too, that we're looking. That is it too. Maybe it is that we're looking. And we need to just settle ourselves and wait. Maybe this is a part of the journey. The waiting season might be longer than you hope it would have been. God knows I want to be married. I wanted to be married when I was 30. I wanted to have been married and I wanted to have had one child when I was 30. But God said, no. No, my child, not you. You have some work to do. You have some things that you need to work on. You need to work on self-esteem. You need to work on interest. You need to work on value of self. You need to work on your mindset. You need to work on your heart. You need to work on your career right now. You need to work on personal development. You need to work on your relationship with me. You're putting everything above me. You put seeking this thing and that thing over me. What? What's that? You know what I mean? So I feel like God is very intentional. He has you exactly where He wants you. He will put you in front of your husband when it is time. He will say, this is the one you need to align with, and this is the person that I'm going to bring to you. God alignment is always on time. God alignment is never on our schedule. It's always on His. You don't know that by now. Everything where you go through in a life, you don't know that by now. Every single thing is on God's timing, not ours. So don't make society and the pressures of society and social media and all the things that happen, and you're watching Housewives of Atlanta and Potomac and all these things, and you feel like, say, you're behind. Or maybe you see yourself, maybe you see your friends, and they're getting married, and they're in relationships, and they're having children, and they're starting families, and you're like, what about me? What about me? Do I not deserve love too? Am I not supposed to have a husband too? Am I not supposed to have a wife too as a man? And you're asking that. Am I not supposed to be in a relationship? Why am I single still? And I'm in my 30s. I don't want to go around and run around with people anymore. I don't want to choose the wrong one. I want to be with the right one, and I want that one to be who God called that one to be. And the thing about it is that in that waiting, it can be painful. Let's be real. Let's not pretend like the waiting period is just easy and people that say, just sing and worship and it will be all right. Please, stop, please. You know it's not that easy. You know it is not that simple.
Oh, I am so content being single. I mean, like, all in God's timing, right? And I really trust Him. So, I had a low moment. Hey God, I just wanted to remind you that I'm still here, single as a Pringle. But I trust you though, all in your timing. I'm gonna be single forever. Okay God, I am so done with the back and forth, so done. So I put my relationship in your hands and I trust you.
So you feel lonely. You feel the need for companionship. You want the little hug up and the rub up and the cuddling and the kissing on the neck. You know what I mean? And that's, you want the little go out on the date and let's travel and let's go to the movies and let's go to dinner and let's have games night and let's get married and let's have children and settle down. You want the picket fence and you want the nice house, and you live nice and good, and you have somebody that is supporting you and somebody that you can count on and talk to and vent to and tell them all about your dreams and your hopes, and then a laugh about this and that and the third, and want to just have a good time growing together. And you're having Bible study with them and you say, let's go to church, and then you go to church together and hop in the car and then open the door for you and you go inside. You want all of that nice things and good things too, don't it? Of course. Of course. So let's not pretend that single season is easy. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's a very intentional time where you get to learn more about yourself. You get to reflect on past relationships. You reflect on what worked and what didn't work. You reflect on how you can be better. You reflect on your growth as an individual and how you can kind of pivot so that you can be a better man and a better woman for your partner. You learn a lot about yourself through God's teaching and guidance during your single season. God will humble you. God will tell you, say, you're not ready yet. When you go up on one little date with somebody and you realize, say, oh my God, I dislike this. Oh my God, I still do that. I thought I was over it. Sometimes you have to go up on, sometimes you might get the opportunity to go on a date during your single time. Just to test the water to see how you handle certain situations. Is your mindset the same as it was when you were in a relationship 5 years ago, 2 years ago? Is it different? Have you grown? Have you learned something? Are you depending only on yourself, or are you depending on God? Are you allowing God to choose your partner and choose your spouse, or are you still on the same track and the same train and the same method of getting in a relationship with somebody? Are you still looking for the same traits as the worldly and than a Christian? Are you still failing to see that you need to let God lead? Let Him lead. Let go and let Him lead. Remember, we talked about this in one of the episodes. Let go and let God. Let God lead. Let God lead you to where you need to be and with who you need to be with. For hot up yourself and act up yourself and try to be something you're not so that you can find your person in a bar. You still going to the bar? You still don't go to the bar for find your husband? You still don't go to the club for find your husband or your wife? Your standards still remain the same? You still want your husband and your wife, or your wife wearing the short and skimpy and the tight and revealing? And your husband still a player, but you say, alright, okay, no problem. I can oversee that. Overlook that. Come on now. Your single season is an opportunity for you to learn, and that's just the real truth about it. That's just the real talk about it. Learn more about yourself, and while you're learning about yourself, dive a little deeper in your relationship with God. Make him reveal to you who and what you need to be as you prepare for your wife or as you prepare for your husband. That's what you need to do. That's what you need to focus on. Stop focus on the wrong things. We focus on the wrong things too much and we stay stuck in the same place because we're not learning. My head tough. Your head can't be so tough. I know say you want a little husband too, you know. And I know say you want a wife too, you know. So where's your obedience in God during this time? Instead of complaining, I'm single, I'm tired of being single. What are you doing during that time? How are you asking God to come into your life and prepare you to be the woman that your husband needs? And also pray over him and say, prepare him to be the husband that I need and that you ordained him to be in order for me to fulfill my purpose here on earth, to fulfill my purpose in doing your will and bid here on earth. Are you asking that of God, or are you saying the Sierra prayer? The follow Sierra and say, God, I want a man who is 6 feet 9 inches tall. He needs to be brown. He needs to have hazel eyes. He needs to be a God-fearing man. He needs to go to church. He needs to be financially stable. He needs to be earning such and such a money every month. He needs to give me this. He needs to give me that. Is that your prayer? Is that what you're praying for? Not saying that is what Sierra prayed for, because she said she was very specific with what she prayed for, and God tells us to be specific. Yeah, but is that the only thing you're doing? Are you diving in the Word? Are you reading the Word? Are you understanding what it means to be the woman that you need to be in order for God to set you up? In order for God to work on you? In order for God to change you and prepare you to be what your husband needs you to be? Prepare you for what God says He needs you to be for your husband. What are you doing? Sir, what are you doing to prepare for your wife? Come on now. Let's talk. Let's be real. Let's be real. Where are you in that process? If you get so excited when one man tell you, hey, and then you just lose everything because you're not anchored in anything, what happened? What to your principles? You just shaky, son? One man blow upon you and say, hey, walk on, babes, you look good. And then you just forget everything what God teach you and everything that you had to learn during your single season. Stay rooted, man, and stop going like say you're an idiot. You're not an idiot. Come on. You know how it goes right here. I'm going to tell you like it is. I'm going to tell you the truth. Why? Because I'm telling myself the truth. I say I saw a nice man, yeah. I went to this event recently, and I saw a very nice man. Very handsome. He was engaging and we had a good conversation. And I was like, oh, this man is nice. You know, and he's God fearing and he says he's led by God. And I was like, not him this, God. Not him this. Yeah, alright, one this. And I'm tall, so you know I'm tall. Because you know some tall. And I said, not him this. Lord, when I'm not looking, you provide. But guess what? A man married. He married and him have kids. I got ahead of myself right there, guys. I got ahead of myself right there. And I feel real back in the thoughts and saying married. I'm not even married, man. You get me? Boundary. I'm not slip right this one. You're married? Okay, your hands off. I'm not gonna write this one. I know, son. But I saw in him what I learned in my single season that I want for my partner. I saw a man who was desirous after God, who put God first before family, who spoke so highly of God and how God has changed him and how he's undeserving, but he serves a God that is so faithful, so just, and he loves him without any restrictions. I was like, yeah, that's the type of man you want, man. So you understand the type of man you want. If I wasn't in the word, I wouldn't know that that's the type of man that I want. If I wasn't in the word, I wouldn't have said that. You get me? Like there's certain principles and there's certain mindsets and there's certain standards and values that a man of God holds that you wouldn't have even thought about if you weren't in the word and if you weren't working on yourself. You get me? As a matter of fact, let me draw in the scripture so we can be on the same page. All right, so let's chat because I'm going to talk about the husbands, but I'm also going to talk about the wives. But let's begin with the husband because so we're looking for, we want one. We're not gonna look for one. We want one. All right, no. Number one, what did the Bible say about a husband? So it says a husband is a leader, not a dictator. May I repeat that for the men in the back? The husband is a leader, not a dictator. Okay? Ephesians 5 verse 25 says, husbands, love your wives, just as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. So let's pause right there. Christ didn't control the church. He covered it. You get me? He didn't dominate the church. He died for it. A husband who is not willing to sacrifice for his wife in terms of his time, his ego, his pride, his comfort, isn't walking in biblical manhood. A real man doesn't need to flex his authority. Okay? His peace, his consistency, his love commands it naturally. He's a man that leads with love, with grace. He takes time with his husband. He leads not to bash and to demean, but he leads with, let's try this. Let's talk about it. This is where we're going, and here's why I'm saying so. Number two, a husband is a protector. Okay? 1 Peter 3 verse 7 says, husbands, live with your wives in an understanding way, showing them honor as the weaker vessel, since they are heirs with you of the grace of life. Now, I know a lot of women might think that weaker vessel means that you're more fragile. It just means that men are called to use their strength to guard, not to harm. For raise your hand and go beat up and hit up your woman. Why are you doing that? That shows weakness, not strength. You're trying to flex your physical dominance and expect that you'll be respected and honored and cherished and followed. Come on. Number three, a husband is a provider. 1 Timothy 5 verse 8 says, anyone who does not provide for their relatives, and especially for their own household, has denied the faith. It doesn't mean just money. It means emotional provision, creating that space for spiritual coverage and showing up consistently for your wife. A godly man provides more than finances. He provides a solid foundation. So outside of us having God as the center and the grounding agent that binds us together, you provide a solid foundation for me to feel safe and comfortable and free to speak to you and express how I'm feeling and free to engage with you and laugh with you and play with you without you feeling miserable and feeling like I'm crowding you or feeling like I am, irking you or annoying you. Nah. Number 4, a husband is a student of his wife. The Bible says, dwell with her in understanding. That means he learns her language, not just how to talk, but also how to listen. So you learn, yes, you know my voice as your wife, but you know the stillness of my voice. You know what that means when I'm silent. You know when I need to vent. You know when not to interrupt. You know when to just give me that space to just express to you how I'm feeling as your wife. Express to you what I am feeling in this marriage and what I need from you. And you have that same space and grace to do the same thing. I should be able to tell you that. I should be able to express that to you. And you should learn those behaviors from me. That's what it means to be a student of your wife. Number 5, a husband is faithful. Number 5, a husband is faithful. Hebrews 13 verse 4 says, marriage should be honored by all, and the marriage bed kept pure. Do not bring nobody into the house and go cheat and go roll around in those sheets. The sheets we will buy, the tread count don't deserve defiling. You get me? You don't go and bring nobody into this space that we have created. No, you shouldn't do it as a man and she shouldn't do it as a woman. Don't do that. Honor the space that brought us together. And if you're going to walk out in the same car, honor the car. You're going to step out and go to a motel, don't even do it. Don't even step out and do it. You just defile the marriage. If you ever come to the thought of doing that, you're supposed to get conviction. So till you rebuke it in the mighty name of Jesus. Don't do that. That means you're supposed to guard your heart, guard your eyes, guard your integrity. It means don't flirt with temptation. You know, flee from it. You see something. Listen, I'm not a thickers. You get me? I'm not a thickers by any means. I'm trying to get there, but I'm not gonna get there. I'm gonna get there, it's just gonna take me a little time. You get me? But they don't declare that long time. But I'm working on being a thickers for me and for me. Let's be real about that. I want you to look at my body and say, as my wife, but I don't want you lost. I don't want you lost. Because lusting will get you into trouble. But as your wife, might be like, that's my wife. Body up. You get me? Body up. Yeah, call body for up. Yeah, but I don't want you because my body not up yet. You see somebody else's body where they have a big bottom and a big this and a big that, and you like that is your type. I'm supposed to be your type. You know, to look on that and say, no. Rebuke it in the mighty name of Jesus. You don't see it. Block it. Block it. Put on your shades and block it. You understand? But be faithful. A godly man does not need 10 women's attention. He values the peace of one woman's trust. Keep that and hold on to it. Don't go out. Why you go out for? Like, why do you need 10 women? Why do you need a second wife? Why do you need a third one? Why can't one suffice? We live in this space and place right now where people get so distracted by the next pretty thing, the next big boobs, the next big bottom, the next hourglass shape. We get so distracted by that. Why? Why is the physical on a greater scale, rating scale, than who that person is and her relationship with God? Come on, man. Nobody step outside. You don't need 10 women. What you do with 10 women? Come on, man. Focus. Focus. Now, that's what it says about what you look for in a husband, right? So let's flip the script right now and look at what you look for in a wife. Now let's talk about what it really means to be a godly woman. Not what you see on social media, not what tradition says, but what God says. So let's break it down into 4 traits of a godly wife. First, she's anchored in God, not approval. Her confidence does not come from compliments. She's not here competing. She is complete as she is. No, that's complemented by this verse that says, 1 Peter 3 verse 3 to 4, your beauty should not come from outward adornment. Rather, it should be that of your inner self, the unfading beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit. You know, a lot of things when you look on social media right now, you see a lot of people are interested in, making changes to their body. They will get the BBLs. We're in that culture, we're in that space, we're in that time and that era of BBLs and double D's or triple D's. We're in that time of liposuction and body lift and all sorts of lift. And you're looking like you're 30 years old, even though you're 70 years old. I mean, we're in that space right now. And a lot of women look at, what the rappers are doing and what other cultural figures are doing, and they make amendments to them body. Don't place so much emphasis on physical adornments. That it takes too much precedence nowadays in this heightened social media environment. That takes too much precedence, and we can't do without it. Proverbs 14 verse 1 says, "The wise woman builds her house, but with her own hands the foolish one tears hers down." That means she uses her words to build, not to break. Her energy brings order, not chaos. Women, you have to hear this, because sometimes when I'm miserable, when we're nag, we. I'm not accepting. We nag and we hold on upon them and we make them feel stifled and we bring them down with our words and you're worthless and you look like this and you da 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 da. No, and you expect the man to stay with you and feel comfortable and want to open up and share. No, I'm not gonna share. I'm not gonna want to open up to you. I'm not gonna create that space for listen to you. I'm not gonna create that space for you to be close to him emotionally and connect with him in that way. No, because all he's gonna think is that you're a nagger. You're supposed to bring peace, not chaos. You're supposed to be peaceful, not chaotic, not toxic. Without the toxic around here. A godly woman sees potential and builds it up. Whether it's her husband, her children, or her business, she knows how to multiply. And I know the conversation around, oh, I see potential and I want it. No, it don't mean say, oh, it's a project that you're working on. Don't view people as projects. They're not projects. See them for where they are and you help them. They have a dream, they have a goal. All right, cool. We can work on it together. Understand? Number 3, she's strong, not stubborn. Being strong does not mean being hard. Strength is knowing how to stand even when emotions run wild. Colossians 3 verse 18 says, "Wives, submit yourselves to your husband as it is fitting in the Lord." I've heard some women, even co-workers, say, "I will only submit to a man if I know that he's worth submitting to." What does that mean? What does that mean? When God tell you to submit to your husband, you're submitting with conditions. What does that mean? God never said, me never read nothing about no condition. Why submit yourselves to your husband? Only if him do X, Y, and Z as is fitting to the Lord. He never put no conditions in there. He said submit, and that word submit isn't slavery. Submission means you trust God in your husband's leadership. It means you don't have to fight for control because you already know who's in control. And it works both ways. It's not a one side thing. Because the next verse says, "Husbands, love your wives and do not be harsh with them." That's balance. That is love and respect and leadership and partnership. When you're submitting, it is a partnership. I submit to you as um my husband because I'm expecting you to lead us. We are walking in the right place, going in the same direction. Amos 3 verse 3. We're not, we must agree on where we're going and the direction we're going. If we're going to live together, we're going to build together, we must agree, we must have a partnership. It can't be you got away there and me got away there and me a stronghold and me have to show you say we can do it. No. I like being soft, around my man. I like being soft around my man. I like to be very feminine. You see the color I wore today, pink? Yeah, I like the soft around my man. I like when my man he can, like lead and my man can be like fix things and I can go to him and he's solution oriented and he's results oriented. Yeah, I like my man like that. I like my man like that. No lie. So you have to be soft, you have to learn, you have to give and take. You have to give and take. Right now, a lot of women are saying, I have to be stepping into my masculinity. No, I'm not stepping on no masculinity. I'm stepping in my femininity Always. I have no masculine traits to step into. None, 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 none. I can be very strong, and I am somebody that's, I'm very level headed, and I want to get this done. But I know say when my husband step in a place and him said that is not the direction that we need to go. We need to go in that direction. That direction will lead us down the wrong path. And we now go down the wrong path. They come pray about it. Okay. Okay. You know what I mean? I like a manly man. I like a manly man like that. You can lead me in the right direction because you're led by God. You answer to God. You want to hear from God. You ask God for the direction that you need in order to lead this household. You get me? So, yeah, all of that, you have to take all of that into consideration, both men and women. So, right now, we're in our single season. This is an opportunity for us to learn. It's an opportunity to grow, to build, to understand ourselves, and to understand what the word says about who we need to be for the person God is assigning us to. And as a single person, as a single woman, you're not behind time. You're not behind time. You're right on schedule. God has you right where He needs you to be. He has been molding you, and He has been curating you, and He has been putting things in place, and He's working on your husband, and He's working on you. He's working on your heart. He's working on your mind. God is working. When you don't see it, He's at work. It might take long, but He's at work. When it happens, you say, "Oh Lord, this is why you made me wait." Man, go on wait, man, go on build. You can't do nothing about it. I'm not force nothing. Man, go on build. Easy myself. You get me? Just easy back. I invite you to do the same. And I also invite you to like, share, subscribe, and comment. You know this is the place to be. Thank you for joining me for this episode of Be Yourself and See What Happens. It's the best place to be. I'll talk to you next time. Peace and love. Stay gorgeous. Bye.